I was brought up in a Christian home. I do not ever remember a time when I did not believe that the Bible was the Word of God, that there was a God, that there was a devil, that there was a hell. I don't ever remember a time when I did not, when I began, from the time I first heard about those things, that I did not know that I was lost. And that if I died in my state, I would go to hell. I've always believed that. There's nothing in the Scriptures that has ever been a part of my life so far as being aware of it. But I knew I was lost. There were probably the impressions made on my early life as a child were the godliness, the piety of those saints that I lived with of my parents. I also saw the hypocrisy. I knew it wasn't also. I knew not everybody who joined the church and professed in the church was Christian. I knew they were hypocrites, but I also knew the reality. The reason I didn't become a Christian is because I wanted to have all the fun first. Like everybody else, I didn't want to take the bitter pill of giving up my sins until just before I died. I believe that lie, that sin is a blessing. It's best to live as much as your life can as a sinner and then just get saved when ain't nothing left. Because that's a big lie. Sin is not a blessing, it's a curse. But I didn't know that. Just like you said, I was in darkness. Couldn't see anything. And that was my state when I met Eunice and we married. She didn't have a lick of sense and I was in worse shape. We were both heathen. We were too poor to do very much outlandish. We scrambled and started having kids pretty soon. And so the Lord took care of us in that. We didn't get in too bad a trouble. But Daddy had to come to Houston, that's where we lived, to try to get a job to pay off a mortgage on the house. And when he did, we had to kind of clean up the act a little bit. And went to church with him some. And I went to, when I was in this church, it was a particular church over in the Heights of Houston. Those of you who know Houston, the old Houston, will know where that is. And one particular service, God really spoke to me in a personal way. And I, without going into the details on it, if he had singled me out and stood me up in front of everybody and said, this is for you, you better listen to this, it couldn't have been any more real to me. When they gave the invitation, I went down to the altar. They had an altar. And I kneeled there. In that particular church, when anybody went to the altar, everybody flew in on top of you and tried to get you through. Nobody come around me. Nobody come near me. And so I prayed and got up and left. And I didn't know whether anything happened or not. But during that time I was traveling. I was working in the oil fields as a service man, the service representative, and it got to where I could, when I would leave, every time I would leave, I would wonder whether I would get back home alive or not. I could see myself being killed, and not only burning up in a wreck, but burning in hell the rest of my life. And I got out the Bible that Mama gave me when I left home. I didn't want it, but she wanted me to have it, and I didn't want to hurt her feelings, so I took it and dug around and found it. And I settled down in a chair in the living room, and began to read the Bible. And the Lord came to me there. I can't tell you exactly when I know and had the peace that He had received me and accepted me. And I had given up and given my heart and soul to Him. But somewhere in there, He spoke peace to my heart.